That's Louis Ramey right there.
That's me.
That's Louis Ramey. We are live on the World Wide Web, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to McCurdy's Comedy Theater, Sarasota, Florida. The most beautiful tropical city in the world, home of the #1 beach in America, Siesta Beach, and a place where tonight this man is going to have his way with these two young ladies right here, somewhere in the parking lot of the Baja Hut. You remember the last time you...
I remember the last time.
I took Louis to the Baja Hut, the Bye-Bye Hut. And you know, those of you know, it's one of the oldest joints here. And what do we all know about the Baja Hut? How many Mai Tais are you allowed to have? Two. How many Mai Tais did you have, Louis? 3. Yes, he had the two, and that was the limit. But then somebody who had seen the show that night came up and said, I would like to buy you another Mai Tai. And Louis went, great, because them other 2 were really good. And I believe you got about halfway through the third one and went, now I understand why they only let you have 2 of these son-of-bitches. Would you like a drink right now?
I would love a drink
What would you like?
I would like a double Jack and diet, please.
A double Jack and diet Coke.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
then.
I gotta, stay thin so I can catch these 2
beer
in the parking lot.
Well, welcome. Would you let everybody know where you were born, where you were raised, where you're from?
I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised. Lived the last 12 years in New York. And now I live in...
What's that? Where in New York? That's the same mouthy accountant that wouldn't let the damn...
Where in New York? Yeah, quit smoking, sweetie.
That's right.
Queens. Yeah, all right.
Your family. Tell us a little about your family dynamic. Mom, dad, brothers, sisters.
I have 2 sisters and 1 brother, all adopted.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, all adopted.
But you're not adopted.
No. My mother said after the pain of me, she said, I'm not doing that again.
Wow.
Oh, thank you very much.
And was that really the reason? For real?
Yeah, that's what she says.
I had childbirth once, and that's that, and now I'll just adopt children. Mm-hmm. What a wonderful thing.
It is.
Cheers.
Thank you.
And did she go multiracial, or did she stick right to the
source?
To the source.
She to the source. She stayed to the source. Okay. She just pretty much just adopted it was really my dad. My dad's big thing was he wanted a big family, and my mom said no, so he just went around her.
Just got kids.
Yeah.
That's great. And you're are they older or younger? The
all younger. All younger.
All younger.
Yes.
And what do they do?
Whatever they want. I have a 21-year-old sister. I have a 18-year-old brother, and I have a 46-year-old sister.
And you are how old?
I am 47.
47. And so your parents just like having kids around the house.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, pretty much.
And are they entertainers, any of them?
No. My
just...
little brother wants to be a rapper. I'm trying to stop that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Another rapper in Atlanta. That's what we need.
Wow.
And your dad, what does he do?
My dad was a psychologist.
Wow.
He taught psychology at Morehouse University, and he worked with the county and developing the public schools and all that.
And your mom, did she work?
She worked for the Atlanta Housing Authority. She worked with the city to put people in housing.
Beautiful. And was anybody in your extended family, aunts, uncles, whatever, in the entertainment industry at all?
No.
Nobody at all?
No. My dad pounded that into me when I said I wanted to do comedy.
Yeah.
But you don't know anybody that does entertainment.
Did you go to college?
I went to Vanderbilt for... Oh, you're going to love this. Went to Vanderbilt. Well, I did some community college, and then.
I mean, I'm impressed that you got in Vanderbilt because that was way out of my league.
And you're gonna love this. I went to Vanderbilt, and some friends said, "You're really funny. We're having a fashion show. Why don't you do comedy while the girls are changing clothes?" And I went, "Great," because I thought I'd be in the dressing room, just telling jokes. You call those tits? No, So I did it, fell in love with it, could not stop thinking about comedy, and quit the next semester.
And so you went one freshman semester.
One freshman semester, and then my dad said, "I'll give you a year, and you have to go back to college." And in that year, I got television.
And did you start in Atlanta or in Nashville?
I started in Atlanta.
Oh, okay, at the
Yeah.
Punchline,
Yeah.
right? And so in your first year in comedy, you got a national television show?
Well, my first year actually doing it for a living.
Okay.
Because I did it, and I started just like going to open mic every day. And then I started getting work.
Yep.
And this woman said, let me get a tape of you, and sent it to New York. And I did Showtime at the Apollo.
Wow. And which is tough. I wasn't going to get into comedy this quickly, but was now at the Apollo, and how many people by applause here tonight understand what it's like to go in front of a crowd at the Apollo? Really, you've all been there. Find that hard to believe. But I'm impressed with the diversity of this audience.
I am too.
So, but now, even though it was Showtime at the Apollo, are the audiences still as critical as they normally are? In other words, if you're...
I got a great story about this.
Okay.
They used to put on 2 bands and 6 comedians, and then they would edit that into the show, into 3 shows.
Right.
So the Apollo has this spiral staircase that goes up to the dressing rooms, and the stars are on the first level, the secondary stars, and how famous you are is how high you go. And the comedians were at the very top, and we're in this tiny room with this little speaker, and the band just finished, and the woman comes up and goes, "All right, you're gonna be first. Go into the dressing room," and grab some guy, and I can hear him like down this thing, and he's going into makeup, and we can hear through this little speaker his performance. Now, it's New York.
Yep.
He's wearing an LA hat.
Oh.
Cowboy boots.
Oh.
And skinny jeans before skinny jeans were out.
Uh-oh.
So he walks on, tells 2 jokes. You start hearing this boo, 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 and then finally, you don't even hear it through the speaker anymore. You hear it through the wall. Boo. Then all of a sudden, you hear Sinbad go out and go, "Calm down, people. That was, let's get him off the stage." And all I hear is door swings open. He's crying. He's in tears. And he's, "These motherfuckers, I hate all of them." He grabs his stuff and walks out. And as soon as he slams, he's like, "I hate this motherfucker." Poof. The woman opens the door and goes, "Louis, you're next."
You had a good set, though.
So, but I go down, I get in makeup, and I'm ready to go on, and I'm sitting on this couch. I'm sitting on this little chair, ready to go on stage, and there's a woman sitting next to me with a hood over her head, and the crowd is booing, still booing the last guy. And Sinbad's just like, "Calm down, people, just calm down. We have to give these people a chance, calm down." And they're just like ready for meat. They're just ready for the next guy. And he goes, "Well, we have a guest. We have a guest coming on stage that just wants to say hello." And I'm thinking, okay, good, that's great. And a woman next to me stands up and takes the hood off, and it's Whitney Houston.
No way.
And she walks on stage, and they just all go crazy. Ah! She says thank you to all her fans, sings one little song, steps off the stage, and they're all in a different mood. And I'm thinking, this is going to be perfect. And Sinbad brings me on stage by saying, "This next comedian has played this club and this club and this club, and following in the footsteps of Richard Pryor, this person and this person, please welcome from Atlanta, a very funny woman, Louise Ramey."
So you got a big laugh as soon as you walked on the stage.
Yes.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
And a bit of flop sweat.
So you did not really ever have jobs or careers, anything before you went right into comedy.
Yes.
And that was all that you.
That's,
that was
you know, it consumed me. I don't know. I always tell people the best thing you can do, especially young people, best thing you can do is just find out what you have a passion for.
Absolutely.
And some people take 5 years, some people take 3 years, but the worst thing you can do is just go, I'll be a doctor.
No. Find your gift, whatever it is, and stick to it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're lucky enough that your gift makes you a living, and sometimes it doesn't, but still.
Either way, you're happy.
Yeah, that's right. That's where you find heaven on earth.
Yes.
And you're now, so you had no other jobs. You went right into comedy all the way through.
Yeah.
You were in Atlanta. Now, where was the first? Did we meet first in that Atlanta, Chattanooga area when we had the club there?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yes. Has anyone here seen old pictures of this man? There's one outside with a white T-shirt and a black wife beater over it.
Yes.
In jeans, full beard.
Yes.
I can't tell. He looked like he was selling crystal meth out of the back of a van.
It was pretty close.
Oh my goodness, just
pretty close.
You were scarier back then.
Well, that was 1974. 1974, and that was the 70s, and everything was really wide open.
Everything's
so
about hair.
Yes,
yeah, he's
exactly.
not lying.
Give me a head with hair. Now, you moved to New York. You did well in Atlanta, and you got to the point you were headlining around the country, and then you moved up to New York.
Yeah.
You were there for a period of time. Did you spend time in Los Angeles?
No.
Never went.
I've always thought Los Angeles was where dreams go to die.
Really?
Yeah, I've always. You know what? It's where every pretty girl from Tupelo, Mississippi, class queen, cheerleading captain.
Yep.
Lots of dance skills.
Yep.
Lots of singing skills.
Sounds like you dated her.
Well, it's a flood of them. They moved to L.A. They're the prettiest girl in their town. They moved to L.A. They realize, hey, I'm really not that pretty compared to everybody else in the world.
Exactly.
And then they go into a life of porn.
If they're lucky. It's hard to get into porn now.
Oh, yeah, you telling me.
I know you made your attempt. I saw your first movie.
Listen, ladies, it's easy to do porn when you're like 19 and 20. You wait until you're 30, 40. Woo, the crap you have to do to make a living in porn when you're 40. Oh, it's just a room. You're in a room full of black guys. Look like they're beating you with nightsticks.
Please. Please don't tell the whole story. Okay. This poor woman's actually thinking about taking you up on this thing.
Because I have a video camera and me and that dude. No,
it's okay. So now you're on. You did a lot of television. You've had to the comedy to comedians that are aspiring to become famous. You've kind of done all the things, and except I would say the only thing is except get a sitcom.
Yeah.
And which is the thing that kind of.
Well, when I moved to New York, I think I did cruise ships for a while, then I traveled around for a while, and then I said I have to go to New York, just because as a comic, you really don't know how funny you are until professionals tell you. You really don't, because people walk up and they go, you're funny, and then you'll see somebody doing nothing but fart jokes, and people go, you're funny, and you just go, I can't judge whether or not I'm funnier than this guy. I think I am. So I moved to New York with a list of goals, and I'm going to say it's the best decision I ever made, because I moved there, and within a year, I had, the first year, nothing. The second year, I did The Tonight Show, I did The View, I had a premium blend, did a Comedy Central special, and the next year, I got a show on Nick at Night, and I did that show for 4 years. And
Which everything you're saying is relatively unusual to happen so quickly.
well, it's unusual mainly because most comics do move to New York too early. I always tell people, you don't want to be good enough. You have to be better than a lot of people when you move to New York.
I got that advice even in college as an actor.
Yeah.
It's like make sure that you are the very best in the region that you live in. No matter what type of artist or skill that you have, make sure that where you are from, you're one of the top 10 people that would come out of people's mouths before you ever attempt to move to those big markets.
Because when you go to the bigger market, every top 10 guy from around the country is there.
So you got Last Comic Standing was a place where you really got showcased nationally a lot. Did you think? Because how many people saw that show? Just saw the any part of it. Last Comic Standing. Okay, now it's a comedy competition, but is it really, in your mind, after doing it, a true, fair, real comedy competition?
No.
It's a reality show, isn't it?
Yes.
And so let me ask you, coming from having done that, nobody's really done a comedy national television show competition that's viable.
No.
What would that be?
I think it would be you would test a comic on giving comics like a newspaper and saying you've got to come up with 5 new minutes and perform them and be judged on it. We got to put you in a room and just let you improv with people, no material that you've done. You would do things that comics that you admire do.
Right. As along the lines of, I know Martin Mull one time on the Carson show said that when the comedy boom happened, and all of a sudden there's thousands of comics out there, and he goes, yeah, there's thousands of comics, but there's only a very few of them that are really funny. Right. And I think what he meant by that was they're just funny people. They don't have to have material. Right. They can just be funny. And so you moved to London. You made the decision, I'm getting the hell out of this country. I'm moving to London. Why'd you do that?
Well, I'd been in New York for 12 years, and I'd done everything I could do except maybe Letterman.
Or Sleep with Her.
Oh, yeah, but I've got a taser. And
that's right. I'd forgotten that. Yes.
So I'd done everything, and I felt like I was pretty much just cashing checks at that point. There was no challenge. When I moved to New York, there was this big challenge to climb a ladder.
But why London? What was the?
Well, when you're a comic in the United States and somebody wants to send you somewhere exotic, it's usually the Caribbean.
Yep.
Or it's usually, hey, we're going to go to Canada.
Right.
When you're in London and you're a comic and you're good and they say, we want to send you somewhere, you go to Dubai. You go to South Africa, you go to Cyprus, you go, and I was like, I've never been to these places.
Have you got an extra room?
Yeah. Okay. Come on.
Well, that's and so because you are a comic that made business plans. You set goals.
Yeah.
You had a plan.
Right.
Which a lot don't.
Yeah, a lot of comics, their plan is I'll be funny, and then the hand of God will reach down and hand me $1 million.
Exactly. Right. So now you're in London. Now you're almost with me. You're almost a senior citizen. You're almost 50 years old. I know you hate to think about that.
No. Just remember, black don't crack. So.
I know. I wish. Yeah. We're Irish. We were born with cracks.
Yes.
So now at this point of your life, what's the plan?
The plan is.
Is there an exit strategy, or do you stick with it?
I'm sticking with it. Yeah. First of all, what am I going to put on a resume?
Yeah. Oh, right. We have no job skills.
Yeah. Know that if I go to work at a bank and they say, so I see this 30-year gap between college and now. What were you doing? I was making people laugh.
I was a funny son of a bitch.
That looks like crap on a resume.
So just stick to it. And
I love doing it. I love making people laugh. I love traveling. Most comics, for some reason, at some point in their career, they just hate traveling. They hate the road. They hate going places. They hate airports. I love landing somewhere and no one knowing who I am or how good I'm going to be, and just making people laugh.
And before I ask, because I'm ready to wrap it up, are there any questions from the audience? And sometimes I find the audience to be a little timid about asking questions because they go, "Oh, I don't want to say something stupid." There's no stupid questions. I mean, if you, yes, yeah.
Have you always used so much sound effects in your...
Sound effects.
Well, it's weird because I just try to, like so many comics try to focus on one thing. Like, I'm going to be the sarcastic guy, or I'm going to be the dirty guy, or I'm going to be this guy. And I like to use all the tools of comedy. So, but one I don't like is just, like, some people are just too animated, and I can't do that. I hate the idea of just getting off the stage, just dripping with sweat, going, "Oh, that was great." So I do sound effects, and then I started getting compliments from people going, "That is a great what you do with the sound effects." So I started doing more and just adding more, and that has happened within the last 5-6 years.
So you didn't use them before?
No. I did a taser thing, and someone said, "You need to do more of that." And I went, "Oh, okay, I'll do them."
Any other questions? Anybody have anything? Yes.
8.5.
Right here. 8.5? Shit, you've grown a half inch. Go ahead.
So when you went to London,
Mm-hmm.
did you have the opportunity to go to Dubai or to Cyprus or to South Africa?
Yes, I did. I did Dubai 3 weeks ago, and it's one of those places where it's beautiful. You know what you learn? You learn there's certain things that Americans take for granted, and you learn that there's certain things that are specifically American. Like when you, like for instance, you are a second-class citizen in Dubai. If you're driving down the street and a sheikh slams into you with his car, it's your fault. Immediately, hands down, they come and arrest you. Even if he's drunk and on the wrong side of the road, it's your fault. When you go to China, when people say, "Oh, the Chinese are going to take over the world," when you get to China, you realize that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen because people say, "Well, the Chinese make everything." No, they assemble everything. They have factories that have a little suggestion box where they'll give you $500 if you come up with a suggestion that makes the operation safer or makes the company more money. And those boxes have been empty for 12 years. They are taught to think a certain way, and that's it. You know, people say, "Well, they make iPhones. Don't they make iPhones?" You go there, they got heart-shaped iPhones and star-shaped iPhones, and they work like crap. They have stores that look like Starbucks, but aren't Starbucks. They just copy everything. They just copy things, and they don't make anything. And then you realize, you go, "Wow, that whole thing about Chinese taking over the world, this is crap." You know, we invent things, we make things, and as you travel and people argue with you, like you meet people that say, "I hate Americans," and you go, "Really, you hate Americans? What do you hate about America?" And but before you ask that, why don't you put down your iPhone and you take off your Levi's jeans and "I hate America." Yeah, sure you do. Sure you do. You hate, and you find yourself defending America, and you go, "Well, what has America ever made?" And you just go, rock and roll, blues, jazz, space flight, and you just start rattling through movies. You just start rattling through things, and they go, okay, all right, you win.
Right.
And then first they go, "I hate America." Really? Who hates Morgan Freeman?
Do you have to change your material all in those places at all? I mean, do you find that it pretty much what works here works there?
People forget that our biggest export is media. You can go anywhere in the world, turn on the TV, and Friends is playing. You can go anywhere in the world, and they know who Brad Pitt is. Yes. They know Angelina Jolie. Yes. They know. They have our TV shows. Well, they have our movies.
Just in Italy for the 3 weeks, and of course nothing's in English, but all American.
They got
everything.
Everything, and when I say everything, Family Guy.
Right. Barnaby Jones. I saw Barnaby Jones.
Yes.
They did. I saw a commercial in Italy that had the Andy Griffith song, just that. As the back part of the commercial. So I'm sitting there going, these people know Andy Griffith so well, they can use it as part of the commercial.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Yes.
You write all your own material.
Yes. Yeah. I think as a comic, really, unless you're on television and someone says, we want you to do the Oscars, most comics write their own material until you're like pushed into a situation like the Oscars is big, or you're doing a television show where you have to produce.
Yeah, well, I think it's that point where you're so famous that your material is getting so exposed so quickly.
Right.
And in that case, you're making millions of dollars, and you have the opportunity to bring writers in because you're in such demand.
Yeah,
but other
right.
than that, and then you're almost always, even in that, you're in command of the material.
Right.
Anything else? Yes.
Did you ever go back to Africa?
Was that a challenge? The question was, would he ever go back to Africa for anybody?
Let me
that didn't hear
digest
that?
this answer for a moment. Hold on. In what aspect are you talking about? To perform?
All of a sudden, we're in Homer, Louisiana again.
Because I need you to go back. Because them women is bothering me. No, yeah. You know what? I will go anywhere. I will perform anywhere where they speak English. When I did South Africa, you realize right away like South Africa is the most violent place on the planet.
One of them.
And people always tell me, look, you going to South Africa, it's the most violent place on the planet. Do you really want to go there? And then I said, well, what are the big crimes there? I says, well, they're number one, the 3 biggest crimes in South Africa are home invasion, carjacking, and rape. And I realized I don't have a house, a car, or a vagina. So I'm safe. I'm safe.
Right.
Yeah. So yes, I'll go anywhere.
Any other questions?
I was in Joburg. Played what was it called? I played one of the casinos, and I did the comedy festival there. Actually, it's so beautiful there. It's outrageous. I have pictures of me playing with lions, or I did on safari. What you notice there is they make everything there that they need. So the wine is made there, the beef is grown there, the vegetables, everything is made. So you can go to dinner, and this is the thing that blew me away. Their dollar is 36 to 1. So when you go out for a meal, you can have wine, steak, baked potatoes, steamed vegetables, glass of wine. They come over and they go, that'll be $340 of their dollars. And you go, that's $10. So you just go, I need to move here. Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
They're still trying to get you the hell back to Africa.
Yeah.
This whole crowd.
I'm seeing a common theme with that dude right there. That dude, common
Africa.
theme. Well, then why don't you go? And why don't you stay while you're there? Get out of Florida. That seems to be the theme.
Maybe so.
You got a question?
No. What?
Huh? Yes, they don't have
right.
those in South Africa.
Not exactly those.
Not those exactly.
Without
Not
a
those,
tattoo on
unless
them.
you want
Without
a
a
trip,
single
'cause,
tattoo,
I'm giving
clean
away
as a
plane
whistle.
tickets later on if you just want.
My last. Oh yes.
How much is your show ad lib?
I would say Not much. I'm not one of those people. A lot of comics will lie and say, "Oh, 60%, 70%." I would rather get it down to the second. I want to laugh.
Yet, and I know when y'all watch Lewis's show, you would assume that a big chunk of his show is ad lib because he's talking to the audience and he's playing off of them, and it appears that way. And that is, I think, one of the greatest attributes is when you can make your show appear that it is coming right off the top of your head when it actually isn't.
And then when something happens, I'll go off script.
And what you should all do is come back and see the show again tomorrow night, and then you'll be able to see, what was that?
And that's the thing. I've been doing it so long that when something happens, somebody can drop a tray of drinks on an entire table. That's happened to me before. That's happened to me 5 or 6 times when it's happened. And I've done something different each time. So when it happens, I already have 15 things in my head going, all right, I can say this. I think it's the kind of crowd that will like the third one. Boom. He's brilliant. If you're in this situation enough, you start to realize that only certain things are going to happen. Every now and then something unexpected happens and you're lost. Like I've had a woman in the back of the room yelling, "It's my birthday!" every 5 minutes. "It's my birthday! It's my birthday! It's my birthday!" And then finally you just go, I don't know what to do with this. So I actually said to her, "Look, I will buy you a drink if you will shut up. I will buy you a tequila if you shut up." And she said, "Absolutely!" So I got the waitress to bring 2 tequilas sitting right here, and I go, all right, sweetie, come get your tequila. And she stands up and walks towards me. And she gets right around midsection right here, and everybody in the crowd realized at the exact same moment that this woman was about 7 months pregnant. 7 months pregnant and drunk. You can't make anything funny after that happens.
No.
I went back to the room and just went, what could I have said or done to make that situation funny? No. So there's certain situations there's nothing I can do. Huh? Right. I just did both shots and went, I'm sorry, lady. You got to sit back down.
This is it.
You'll have to scream, "It's my birthday" the rest of the night. I'll deal with that.
My last question to you, and I ask everybody this. What's the great bit you haven't written yet? And when I say that, is there something that is rolled around in your head that is maybe very personal to you, or maybe it's a social issue that you're either really excited about or disturbed and angry about? You go, I'd love to write a bit about that would expose it, that would enlighten people to it. Is there anything like that that's been there that you hadn't put out on stage?
Yes. It's you know what? It's this idea, and I've been playing around with it for about 3 years now, and it's this idea that we are all the same. We are all the same, and yet if you have a different view than someone, they're not evil. Like this whole election year brings it to the top. The fact that you're going, I hate that guy, he's evil, and you go, no, he just has a different view than you. He has a different, we're all trying to get to the same place.
Yep. And
people are too quick to say somebody's crazy or somebody's stupid or somebody's an idiot. And he's like, no, they're not. Everyone's a college graduate. They just have a different view. And just because someone disagrees with how you would settle a situation, that doesn't make them, don't demonize
absolutely.
people.
So it's enlightening towards a totally tolerant society that is based on nothing but living your life with kindness.
Yes.
And that's a great bit, and I would suggest, I'm in the middle of reading a book because I got the suggestion on that same thing called Love Wins, which is a really good one.
Like I just want to say
Yes.
one thing. Like I did that redneck joke, and this is what I've noticed. If you're in the South and you say, "I walked into a room full of rednecks," it's a description in the South. You realize that there are people who are proud of being called rednecks. But when you go to Boston and you say, "I walked in a room full of rednecks," they think it's racist. They think it's horrible. They think it's an insult. You say, "Hey, yeah, a room full of hillbillies." Hey, don't call them hillbillies. You go, "Have you been to West Virginia?" There are bumper stickers that say, "I am proud to be a hillbilly. I am proud to be a redneck." You know, I grew up with rednecks.
Yes.
So when I say that guy's a redneck, that's like me saying that guy's a hippie or that guy's a Taurus. You know,
When you were in Houma, Louisiana, what was it there? It was a coon dance, right? And they were proud of it.
oh, you God.
They've tried to get you back to Africa.
Where's
Now
this-
they're saying coon.